Hello, hello. Comrade, Madam Mother Karua, other fellow comrades I see in the crowd here, ladies and gentlemen, hamjambo. Hamjambo tena. This is a very, very proud and pleasant occasion. First, I had a quick occasion to sit down with my comrade and sister, Martha Karua, before we came here. We had one-on-one, just the two of us, which was very valuable. And in that period of time, we took the journey down the memory lane and looked at where we come from as a people and as a country and where we are. There are not very many people around with whom I can share that kind of experience. She's one of them. And we've agreed that the time has come again for us to come together. The Secretary General talked about river first branching and converging. I wanted to tell him that he really are talking about Nile in Cairo. River Nile in Cairo. River Nile in Cairo splits just before, now it is now in the middle of Cairo. And then it forms an island. It's called the Zamalek Island, where I used to live. And then it converges again to move towards Mediterranean Sea. But I've been saying just like the march of the Nile is unstoppable. When it starts that long journey from the Ginger, the river Elton, from the Ethiopian mountains to the Mediterranean Sea, the movement of the people of Kenya to liberate this country is still unstoppable. I've been saying lately that in the process of a third liberation, that there's the first liberation which brought independence to this country. The second liberation which gave us a new constitution. And now the third liberation is what I call the economic liberation of our country. Just like those first two were processes. See, the first liberation was a process. It took a long time. You will recall, for example, the times of Koitalel, the days of Hariduku, and people will not know why we call that street the Hariduku street, or lane down there. How many people were shot and killed there in 1922? From that time, Kenyans were struggling from 1922 all the way up to 1963, when we got independence. And thereafter, then started the second liberation. You see the 60s, the amendment to the Constitution. Then the 70s, all the struggles. And the 80s. And then the 90s. The millennium generation today, we have today, don't know about this. It's not their mistake, because these things are not taught in history books. But the second liberation was itself just as intense in terms of human suffering around. Some of you may not have heard about somebody called Pio Gama Pinto. He was shot and was carrying his child to school just around there in Westlands and killed. Somebody was arrested, in prison for 38 years for no reason at all. When he came out of prison, he went all the way to Parkland's grave to go and tell Pinto's grave that I did not kill you. There are several others. Not far away from where you're standing here is Nyayo House, the infamous Nyayo House. People have been thrown from the 23rd story there onto the street. And then they say they committed suicide. But none of you have had the occasion to go to the dungeons in Nyayo House and see. And if you are told that somebody spent 90 days there, you will sympathize with him. So we were together at that time. Remember, for example, one time when I was being escorted by the lawyers, Martha marshaled them from Ajip House. And we marched, James Orengo, Kitubi Manyara, Paul Miti, Philip Kauma Musili, the Chief Justice today, another Martha. And we were walking on foot, they were escorting me because they were looking for me all over the place. So I said, the lawyers, let Mr. Shamala was there also, John Hamenwa. And we marched from Ajip House with the media to Central Police Station here. And then I went to report that you are looking for me, I've come. Then after that they said they did not look for me. Because it's an excuse, because they wanted to come to arrest me at home at night. And they went home at night, they didn't find me. I was taken into hiding. And eventually I managed to slip out and found my way to Norway. So Martha Karua here has paid a heavy price in the struggle for second liberation of this country. She stood very firm at the time when very few people dared. She was one of those very few people who were able to come, stand up and tell the truth to the system. And was able to give legal service gratis, pro bono, because so many of our people were being arrested here and there all the times, and we didn't have the money to pay. So when we formed Ford, she was first with us, Ford, then Ford Asili, Ford Kenya, eventually she ended up in the DP, and became one of the first women who were elected in parliament at that time, the DP ticket. And we were together throughout that period of time. And second period, after we formed NAC, we went through all that today with Martha. And the pros and cons, the hills and the valleys and the mountains that we had to climb. But we are here, we will agree that there's still a lot to be done for us to achieve what the people of Kenya desire, which is the Kenyan dream, as coined by the founding fathers of our nation. And we agreed that the time has come again for us to come together. And this final phase here, she's now a general in the struggle. She wears scars of the struggle, okay? And she wears it proudly. As a proud Kenyan, we said we are marching on until we reach that mountain top to go and plant the flag of liberation on top. And remember, all those who did not make it there that time. So I feel very proud this afternoon to receive Martha here, this side, the divide. I don't think that he had any other choice. Because the difference between this side and the other side is like day and night. Black or white. Huh? You see,